that you've all had a lovely week. Today we'll be doing another episode of Bible Prayer Man. For those of you who forgot how to play Bible Prayer Man, all you need is a pencil, a piece of paper, and a rubber. Then, how to play this? It's like Bible Hangman. It's the same rules, but if you get one wrong, and then if you get lots wrong, instead of hanging the man, the man will be praying and asking God for the help to get the answer. I'm Sammy, and this is Aunty Sappy.
Today, Samuel, are you ready?
Yes.
Last episode we learnt about forgiveness, but today is something else.
Obedience?
Yes, we are going to learn about obedience. So my first character is 5 letters word.
5 letters word.
And my second clue is my character is a male character.
A.
There's no A in my character. So the head has appeared. Do you want another last clue?
Yes.
My third clue is he was a prince. Children, how about you? You all found whom I'm speaking about?
E.
Yes, we do have E. Is a 4th letter.
How many letters did we
It's
have?
5 letters word. I'm repeating again. It's a 5 letters word. And 4th letter, Sammy has already said E.
O.
O, yes. Second letter is O. Well done, Sammy.
J.
There is no J. So the body has appeared now. We can see the man's head and the body has appeared already. And the grace clue is there was 10th plague related to him.
I think after that I know. Moses.
Yes, it's Moses. Children, did you find out who that was with my second clue, third clue, or you waited until the end like Sammy did? Yes, it's Moses. Sammy, do you know any facts about Moses?
Yes, I do. Moses was the one who led all the Israelites out of Egypt. And
Yes.
through the way, they had to get across a sea. So he asked God for help, and God helped him to part the sea. And then they all got through and away from Egypt.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to say a few interesting facts about Moses. Moses was a slave's boy in Egypt. Yeah? But suddenly he became a prince. You know, so many things he did. After becoming a prince, he didn't last there for long. He ran away and he became a shepherd. He was looking after sheep for some time. Then God called him to be a leader. So he was a prince, shepherd, and leader. He was not only a leader, he was a prophet as well. As Sammy said, he always listened to God. When God said, do this, he will do it straight away. But at the beginning, when God called him, he refused.
He was scared.
He is man with full of excuses when God called him. Okay? So in that, he says he stammers. Yes, he does stammer. There's a story behind it. I don't know how much it's true. But there is a small story which fascinated me, so I'm going to share. This is a fact about
What's the
Moses.
story?
So when Moses was as a prince in the palace, one day he went and took King Pharaoh's crown and he put it on his head. King Pharaoh got shaken. He said, "Is he going to take my kingdom? Not my son, but a slave son?" He was so much worried about. So he called teachers of Moses and said, "I don't know whether this is that Moses is a child, a very small boy like Sammy and like you who are watching, whether he's attracted because it's full of glitter, the crown is so glittery with all colorful gems, whether he's attracted to that glitter or he's really attracted to gold." So the Pharaoh said, "Let's put gold and burning coal. If he's attracted to gold, he'll go pick the gold. If he's attracted to glitter, so they are putting bit gold in it, so it comes out the gold glitter shiny, whether he's going to take the coal." Unfortunately, Moses went near the gold to pick, but God guided him to take the coal. This is written in one of the Jewish book I read. In the history of Moses, it's written that he took the coal and he put it in his mouth. That's why he stammers, that's what they say. I don't know whether it's true or not, but this is what's written in that Jewish book. So another fact about Moses is he died, but God showed him the promised land before his death. So God was so close with Moses. Moses was very close with God and he obeyed everything what God said. That's why he was a good leader. Even though he died, God took him to heaven. So if you see, when Jesus was praying before his death, Moses and Elijah came and comforted Jesus, which clearly says that God was so close with Moses. If you obey to God, I'm sure God will speak to you and you can hear his voice.
I think I know one more fact about Moses.
Yes.
So Moses, God was the one who gave Moses. He gave Moses the 10 Commandments.
Well done. Yes, the first 10 commandments was given to Moses, which was written
By God's finger.
God wrote with his own hand and gave the 10 commandments to Moses. Sorry. So well done, Sammy.
Does that mean the next one might be Joseph?
So Moses did really obey God. Okay, my next character is 4 letters word.
A.
A, yes, we do have A, and A is the 3rd letter. Now it's a male character. And my next clue, he had 3 sons.
U.
There is no U, so head has appeared. It's a 4 letter, and Sammy has already said A. Children who are watching, did you guess anybody? If so, you can write it in the comment box.
Good.
Sammy? 3rd clue, rainbow is connected with him.
Noah.
Very easy clue I gave. Yes, it's Noah. Can you connect Noah and obedience?
Yes,
In
you
what
can.
way?
So Noah, he obeyed God by building the ark, and God said there would be a flood, and Moses, he was the only one who believed. No one else believed him. So he started building the ark, and when then he finished it.
Thank you. Yes. Until Noah's time, there was no rain. When God said, I'm going to send rain to destroy them, he just believed blindly. He knew what God said is true. There's going to be rain, there's going to be a flood. He believed God and he started to build the ark. Fact about Noah. Noah's, do you know what is Noah's father's name?
No, I don't.
Children, do you know what's Noah's father's name? Noah's father's name is Lamech.
Lamech.
Yes, Lamech. And Noah's great-grandfather's name? Anybody? Any guess? It's Enoch.
I was guessing that.
You're guessing. Well done. Yes, Enoch. Enoch knows Adam. You know who is Adam?
Yes.
He is our first man God created. So Noah is not that far from Adam. Can you see? Noah's great-grandfather knew Adam. So he had a good teaching and he listened to God, Noah. And another fact about Noah is God gave a covenant with rainbow. Said, I'm not going to destroy the whole world with water. That's the covenant God gave. And so far God is fulfilling it. How many of you seen rainbow? Me too. It's so beautiful. Very, very beautiful. God has given that promise to us. Okay, and our next character is shall I say? It's a 6-letter word.
6-letter word. A.
A. Sammy always picks A. You all know that. Yes, A. A is there. And it's a 2nd letter.
Daniel.
It is Daniel. Without even taking a clue, Sammy guessed it's Daniel. I think he guessed and it's right. Daniel obeyed God in every little things. Sammy, do you know anything about Daniel?
Yes, I know 2 things about Daniel. Daniel was taken with his 3 friends to Babylon as slaves, and he was the only one who could interpret any things that the king had seen. And actually, I know a 3rd one too. And this 3rd one is that Daniel, every time he prayed, which was 3 times a day, every time he prayed, he would always face where he came from, which is Jerusalem.
Well done, Sammy. Children, do you know these facts, what Sammy said? With that, I'm going to add a few more. Daniel stood for God. When I say stood for God, he obeyed. Even at the beginning of his life in Babylon with the food. From then on, he stood for God. He obeyed whatever God said.
I know another way how he obeyed. He also obeyed God by so the king made a law where no one could pray to anyone but him. But Daniel still prayed to God, even when he wasn't supposed to.
Yes, so he kept 1st and 2nd commandments. There shall be no other God, isn't it? And we should not consider anyone else as a God. So king, he doesn't want to worship as an image. He wants the living God. Well done, Sammy. Well done. Yes, Daniel was 70 years in Babylon as a slave. He worked as a king's wise man. He worked under 4 kings. If you know, please type in the king's name in the comment box. Samuel, do you know?
Yes, I know one of them. One of them was King Nebuchadnezzar.
Yes, and King Belshazzar. Then he worked under King Darius and King Cyrus. So he worked under 4 kings, no one else. And the interesting fact about Daniel is Daniel interpreted king's dream, but there were times he couldn't even understand his own dream. When Gabriel came and comforted him and said, God will do it for you. So, even though he was an interpreter of a king's dream, he couldn't interpret his own dream. Thus, God sealed those dreams. So that's a fact about Daniel. My fourth character is 5 letters word, and it's a male character.
A.
A, well done, Sammy. A is a second letter. And
I?
yes, we do have I, and I is a 4th letter.
Is it?
Do you want any clue?
No.
You don't want a clue?
D.
D, well done. I think he knows the answer.
David.
David. Children, did you find out who is that? Yes. What fact do you know about David?
David went to the palace when he was a young boy, and he would always help King Saul by playing music on his kinnah to make King Saul feel better.
Okay. So we all know fact about David is he's the second king of Israelites. The first one was Saul, the second king was David. He was anointed by Prophet Samuel. That's the second fact. And the third fact is he was anointed as a king when there was already a king. So that's a fact. Samuel already said he's a musician, he's a songwriter, and he always obeyed God. When he had a chance to kill King Saul, he didn't do it because he knows killing is not his job, it's God's. So he obeyed one of the commandments, says, "Thou shalt not kill." So, and King David did everything what God said. And he was very obedient to God. And another fact about King David is, do you know what is that? I'm going to say.
No.
He was a shepherd boy, but he did his job very, very faithfully. He kept his sheep safe.
And he also defeated Goliath.
Yes, even when he was young, no army training. Nowadays, if you have to join army, you have to go for all types of training. David didn't go for any, just with a sling. We all know the story. He killed the giant.
Stones.
Yes, so he killed the giant. David is close to God's heart because he obeyed God in every little thing he did. And my last character for today is 4 letters word.
A.
Yes, we have A and it's a second letter. Well done. And it's a male character.
E.
There's no E. It has appeared already. And my last clue for this character is he's not one of the disciples.
Wait, was A in it?
There is A, yes, it's a second letter. Children, can you guess whom I'm talking about?
Paul.
Yes, it is Paul. So if you take his old name, Saul, is a 4 letters. And the new name, Paul, is 4 letters.
It's just a change in the starter letter.
Exactly. Well done. The second letter is A for both. Yes, it's a Paul we are going to talk. What fact do you know about Paul?
Paul was not a disciple, as you said, but he still preached the word of God. And I just thought of something about Paul too. So his old name was Saul, and then his new name was Paul.
So, fact about Paul. Paul, as we said already, he was not a disciple, but he was an apostle. He's a Jew, but a Roman citizen. And he took the gospel to non-Jew people, Jewish. So he took Christ's gospel to non-believers, that is Gentiles. That's you and me. Otherwise, we will not know about Jesus. So God chose Paul to do the job. Paul was very, very educated man, but he wrote so many letters to all the churches. Fact about Paul. Paul was not married.
And another fact about Paul is that he was also blind for 3 days.
That's right. When God touched him, when God spoke with him, he went blind, and for 3 days, then he regained his sight. Well done, Samuel. And Paul's profession was tent making. Yes, he is a tent maker. The important thing about Paul is when God called him to do his work, he straight away obeyed God. He left whatever he thought is right behind, and he obeyed God and did God's work. Because of him, you and me are saved. So we thank God for choosing people to do his ministry. You, and me. We all can do his ministry. Do you know how? Do you know how?
No.
Just by obeying his word. Just listen to God's word. Obey, and you will do his work. What he has commanded in Matthew 28, last verse. If you got time, you can open and read. He says we need to take this gospel to everybody. Don't think you're too small. Small or big doesn't matter. God can use you and me. So children, obey. For that, you to obey God, you should obey your parents. Do you obey your parents, Sammy?
Yes.
He smiles cheekily and saying, yes, I shall find out from his parents and see whether he obeys. But children, obey your parents. That's what God likes. Once you start obeying your parents, then you know obeying God is also so vital. Okay? Obeying God is more important than obeying your parents. Obey God first, then your parents and all the elders. But obey when it is right. Okay, children, have a safe week ahead. May God bless you. Do you want to say something, Samuel?
We heard that you all keep wearing masks and using the hand gel provided.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.